Well, my question is, if we make the journey and go back home, can we avoid all this madness? I mean, dropping bombs and war on terrorism and... I'm going to leave it alone. KPO San Francisco 89.5 FM. I am Paulo Moquez, sitting alongside the one called Feeva. And speaking to a journey back home, making it repatriation, as them would say. Got a brethren sitting next to me that is going to touch base in regards to that and make that nice and strong and firm for you so you get a pure understanding of what that means. Brethren wrote a book. It's entitled Journey to the Motherland. And I'm going to let my man introduce himself to me. How are you, soldier?
Just fine, sir.
You doing well?
Yes, I'm doing very well. This is Larry Ukali Johnson-Redd, author of Journey to the Motherland from Benin City, from San Francisco to Benin City.
So, how's everything been going with this book so far, man?
So far, we've been working. We're doing a lot of work in getting the word out. And when you don't have a commercial organization behind you,
right.
You have to do a lot of work yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little time, but we got a lot of energy and we got a lot of strength, and we're very proud of what we're bringing forward here in this book.
Okay. Well, let's go to the beginning of times when you made the journey. You decided, I'm out of here. I'm on a plane. I need to see the motherland.
That's right. I had that feeling that I always wanted to see the motherland, and I had a lot of people tell me what it was like, but I wanted to see for myself.
Right.
And that's what led me, shortly after, a few years after I married Chinwe Uzoma of Nigeria. We decided in 1977 to go back to Nigeria, and I took up a teaching position, and she took up a job working for the Ministry of Education in Bendel State, which is headquartered in Benin City.
That's in Benin City?
In Benin City,
okay.
Right, which is part of Nigeria.
Okay.
Because, a lot of people don't realize that there's a country called Benin, and then there's Benin City. And that country called Benin, they speak French, but they're Africans, like the Nigerians. But at one point in history, the Benin armies from Benin City marched that far and conquered that whole country. So that's why they reverted back to a traditional name that they had known, because at one point the Dahomey was a part of the Benin Kingdom. So but I was in Benin City, which was the headquarters of the Benin Kingdom.
Okay, but this is in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Okay, so at what point did you decide I need to put all of this down in writing? I need to write a book.
Yeah, well, when I got over to Nigeria, I found it so different from the stereotypes. I mean, I had some brothers telling me when you get there it's going to be just like America because it's westernized.
Right.
I had other folks telling me that it was going to be a very wild ride,
Right.
And, of course, we had the white media saying if you go over there, you won't make it out alive, So I had all these different factors being pumped into me.
Okay.
But when I got there, I found it much different than any of those three expectations. In fact, I found a modern organized society with street lights, with traffic jams, with brothers and sisters running things, with our people being in a position where even if there were Europeans in the country, the most commanding sight you would see walking up and down any street is the black skins of millions of Africans. And so when I saw that and saw how much hospitality I received as a black man from the West, how much hospitality I received, whether people knew it or not, consciously and unconsciously, then I said I had to write a book to kind of bridge the myths that we have in America to the reality that I saw while I was in Nigeria.
Okay, so you experience what most of us experience when we go there. You end up hearing one thing, you get there, and you end up seeing a positive, influential situation that somebody probably doesn't want us to know about, because if we knew about it, more of us would probably go.
Go over there.
And so you decided,
I got to write a book about it. I got to tell a story because, again, one of the, Obasanjo, who's the president now, was the president when I arrived there, strangely enough. But he had a statement, every government announcement we said would be prefaced with, we want to make blacks wherever they are proud of our efforts. And I said, when you arrive in a country and you hear that's the first government announcement, then you say, well, now this is not going to be that bad.
True
As a
indeed.
matter of fact, it was real good.
True indeed. So you entitled it Journey to the Motherland. How do we get this off the ground? I mean, where did you start?
Well, of course, I wrote the book and sent it to all the big white publishers and got it sent back. And they all said the same thing, we're not interested in this type of book.
Okay.
And I understand that a lot of the conclusions don't fit the popular American stereotype.
Right.
As a matter of fact, it's meant to tear those stereotypes up.
Right.
So that's why after they kept sending it back, I first self-published a book in '82 on my own, and then over the next 15 or 16 years, I added more reflections, added more to it, and I hooked up with Brother Itabari down in Los Angeles, who's the head of the Amin Ra Theological Seminary Press. They're publishing the book, and so now we're on not only with this first book, but also with the second book coming forward.
Okay. So what type of book are we talking about that this man doesn't want us to know about?
Well, the information is this. When we go to our homeland, instead of us seeing unorganized chaos and craziness and people killing each other, and those are the kind of situations they tend to pump, where there's civil disobedience or civil discord or a national disagreement. But they don't seem to think it's very important to show an organized black country where all the services work for the most part, where people are happy, where people are well fed, where stores are full of food, the markets are full of food. Good news is hard to sell sometimes, but the good news about our motherland we need to have, because a lot of us think that we're from nothing and we come from nothing because they think our motherland is so far down. And so we need to know that there are more Mercedes-Benz in Benin City than there are in San Francisco. We need to know that our people over there are on all the billboards and on all the money, and that our people have a very good living situation, and they're proud. Houses are made of brick, can withstand the monsoon rains, and I mean, people have a good time over there, especially if you get invited to one of those Nigerian parties over there.
Oh, there you go.
Very nice, very nice.
Look, speaking on that, my experiences when I got there is everyone that I ran into either invited me to the house, or if they were from another country, they invited me to come and visit them so that I could see the hospitality, that not just in this one country, but in the next country it was the same, or as far as they were concerned, it was better. Yeah.
Well, you see, this is the thing. It's called African hospitality, and it's laid on you from the minute you get there. I mean, I had to turn away food. It is not polite to turn away food, but folks are very hospitable. They're very happy to see anybody that comes from the West, but they are particularly happy to see African Americans come from the West, because they want us to know they don't have to swing from trees to get from corner to corner, that they can drive in their cars. They want us to know they have their color TV and their FM radio stations as well as AM radio stations, that they have their television stations, that they have their freedom. They have the right to vote in their country, and they have a right to be treated pretty well. And a lot of us think, well, gosh, if I go over there, they're not going to like me, or, they're going to look at me funny. And nothing could be funny, nothing could be farther from the truth, because I do remember being there, not having a correct visa for whatever reason, and it just never became a problem. I mean, when I did go into the immigration office, which I talk about in front of the book, and told a guy in '79 that I wanted to get my status regularized so I can make a visit back to the USA. His thought to me was, well, wait a minute, this is 2 years later. You should have gotten this taken care of 2 years ago. So I've been in the country 2 years just kicking and enjoying myself, and it wasn't a problem. So I think that the African hospitality that I saw is the same kind of hospitality that you or any other brother or sister from the U.S. would see if they go to our motherland.
Now, Larry, I'm glad that you touched on that, because one of the misconceptions, I've never been to Africa, but I have gone to Jamaica. So seeing all the black people in power, running things, everywhere, that really made me happy. But